I'm done with Fake Collider and I'm not watching it again. I don't care how different 3 Ryan and the movie might be. I just want to wash my hands of this film.
FBI, we've received a call.
FBI?
You knew the series had horrible content that you kept watching.
Well, yes, but,
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say.
Mr. EXE, you're free to go.
It certainly took you long enough.
Seight, you bailed me out?
Firstly, mongrel, it's pronounced Seight. You've been saying it wrong the whole time.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're forgiven.
But why?
Because I find you amusing. Your misery while watching that series was a good way to kill some time.
Oh gee, thanks. Well, sorry to disappoint, but I won't be reviewing any more of it.
Really? It's supposed to get good with Season 4. And they just announced a Carnival Phantasm spin-off for it.
They put a... Wait, really? No, screw that. They put a tracking device on my ankle, and if I say certain key phrases, it alerts them, and then they come to arrest me again.
So, it would seem that you need some new garbage to review.
Later. First I have to get back at Rio for letting me get arrested to begin with.
I think I have just the thing.
What is this?
You will find the tools necessary for your revenge inside.
I think these will work just fine.
Be sure not to disappoint me, mongrel.
What the Vengeance is mine!
As I pray. Unlimited. Okay. Time out. Calm the hell down.
You forced me to watch that OVA, and you let me get arrested. I will have my revenge!
I told you I was getting run! How about we stop destroying the office and you tell me what you want?
You know what I want. You subjected me to a lot of torment by forcing me to watch Season 3 and those bonus shorts. And now, it's your turn. You're gonna help me with my next review.
I doubt it could be that bad.
You've all heard of this one. Any fan of Dragon Ball, or just anime in general, has heard of the travesty known as Dragonball Evolution. Sit down.
In case you can't tell, it's pretty bad. In recent years, there have been countless live-action movies based on a popular anime, most of them being awful. And Dragon Ball Evolution is widely considered to be the worst of them all.
Is it really that bad?
You brought it to me without watching it first?
I think I may have just made a terrible mistake.
It's too late now! You have to suffer with me. This is Dragon Ball Evolution!
In a time before many can remember, our planet faced its greatest challenge.
Making faithful live-action adaptations of anime and games.
A warlord named Piccolo came from beyond the stars, bringing darkness and chaos to our once peaceful world. Aided by his disciple Ozaru.
Okay, I'm not super well versed in Dragon Ball, but I know that's wrong. Ozaru is the Japanese name of the great ape transformation that Saiyans undergo. So you're telling me that the Namekians and Saiyans are working together to conquer Earth?
If we point out all the inaccuracies, we're not going to make it past the first 5 minutes. Let's just understand that it's an adaptation and some changes had to be made.
Well, fair enough, but did you see the original version of Ozaru for this movie?
It's a monkey, right?
So, to summarize the opening, they explain that Piccolo and Ozaru almost destroyed the Earth, but Piccolo was sealed away thousands of years ago, and Ozaru disappeared, and now Big Green's coming back.
The first rule is there are no rules.
Isn't that the same logic they used in Fake Collider?
Yes! Don't utter its name.
Our first shot of our main character shows him sweatier than Weird Al in Amish Paradise, and the editor loves to use the slow-mo at the weirdest times.
So we're shown Goku and his grandpa Gohan, Again, this is all kinds of wrong. Instead of being a little boy, Goku is now an AC teen with Frank West's hair.
Prepare to eat dirt.
I will if that'll get me out of watching this movie again.
No, that comes later.
They start a sparring match with some pretty lame green screen effects. Did that really just happen?
Is feeding your opponent bugs a martial art now?
And Gohan doesn't even react. This isn't a jump cut. This is literally just playing the movie.
Also, what's with the cartoony sound effects? And look how crappy that green screen is. Our special effects look better than that.
No, they don't. Gohan air dokens Goku, and he hits the ground.
And so Goku became the successor to the mantle of Captain Melonhead.
We get some basic Kung Fu movie banter.
Yeah, well, it's kind of hard to block a move that I can't see.
To see, to hear, to touch are all overrated.
Okay then, so I'll just stab out my own eyes and cut off my ears so I don't have to see or hear this movie because senses are overrated.
To spare you from us ripping apart every single line in this movie, we'll keep it short. They take one of the most beloved characters in the anime community and make him literally every high schooler in every movie ever.
Yeah, someday I'll beat you.
What, friends? I want to explode. Teach me how to get the girl. Teach me how to be normal.
And they give Grandpa Gohan all the cliched mentor dialogue you've heard from every single wise man ever.
True power comes from inside. You're special, Goku. I don't train you to fight boys, Goku. Have faith in who you are.
That last one sounded like a Dragon Force lyric.
They're ripping off heroes of our time now? And to add to the cliche stack, it's Goku's birthday and Gohan gives him the 4-star Dragon Ball.
The 7 Dragon Balls will grant the holder one perfect wish.
Then let's get the Dragon Balls and wish that this movie was never...
That joke's too easy. We then cut to Goku heading to high school and see some asshole runs over Goku's bike.
So much for the flying Nimbus.
You're gonna pay for this, Fuller?
Make me pay, Geeko.
Oh, come on!
They can't even come up with good insults.
I've heard sticker burns when I was in elementary school.
Wait. Geeko? Not Geeku?
I can't even spell it right.
So, they take one of the most iconic and influential anime ever to exist, which had a wide variety of environments from deserts to jungles to other planets, as well as a wider array of creatures than Noah's Ark, and turned it into every angsty teen high school drama ever, with boring dialogue, stock bullies, and incredibly stilted acting.
This was a mistake.
Now you figure it out?
The bullies leave, and then we cut to a flying airship and find the unholy love child of Ivan Ooze and Ace from the Gang Green Gang wearing a dollar store quality Sith costume.
If it works for Saber, it works for Piccolo.
Hey, you leave her out of this.
This Saber was a cash grab and you know it.
Lies and slander!
How much did you spend trying to get her?
Don't tell my wife.
Piccolo drops a red ball and blows up a city below. We see a Japanese woman hiding a Dragon Ball as she's approached by Piccolo's assassin, Mai.
We're telling you her name because the movie never does, and if you don't know the name, then you probably never guessed it was supposed to be her, like 9% of the rest of the cast. The other 10% is Piccolo.
But enough progressing the plot. We have to get back to the blandness of high school, where Goku has apparently been hitting the cactus juice a little too hard.
Wrong series, dude.
Sorry, it's such a bad adaptation. I thought we were watching The Last Airbender for a minute there.
What might our ancestors say about the upcoming solar eclipse?
Beware of the Nemeks.
Nemeks.
Just to reiterate my point from earlier, original Dragon Ball took place in a world full of talking cats, dinosaurs, and contact with alien life on a daily basis. And here, they don't even know their own history.
Fast forward to this chick trying to get her locker open, and Goku airbends all of them. Great, now I'm doing it too. He blasts the locker open with a burst of air, even though he's at the wrong angle to push the lockers open, that would more likely push them shut.
Use your key.
You know about Ki?
Just because my name is Chi-Chi doesn't make me a complete idiot.
No, horrendous writing and misrepresentation of source material makes you an idiot.
And insert cliche over 9,000 by this point, Goku stumbling over his words while talking to his crush.
I'm gonna stop now.
And never speak again.
Chi-Chi invites Goku to a party, but Gohan is preparing his birthday dinner for him.
I got fresh chicken feet! Couldn't find good swallow's tongue.
Kojiro Sasuke got to them first.
Goku takes the Dragon Ball and sneaks out. Too bad. Poor Gohan even had a cake ready for him.
At the party, the generic bullies are at it again.
Quite a large group of bullies, too, and they're never given any depth. We never see a reason as to why he gets bullied besides him knowing about the Namekians and his refusal to fight.
To think we once had expectations of movie characters. Anyways, Goku decides he's done taking their crap, but refuses to fight, so he just lets them miss over and over again.
Missed again.
Ugh, his acting is terrible.
And again with that awkward slow-mo.
Time for a boss battle, as Fuller enters the fray.
You're so dead.
Yes, yes. Swing a heavy metal pipe near your Dodge Charger that you wish was Bumblebee.
Pure genius. Is he practicing being an eraser?
Fuller still thinks he's playing the bonus stage of Street Fighter 2 and keeps bashing his own car until he and one of the goons from earlier knock each other's blocks off.
Perfect!
After the three-ring circus act, the rest of the party's pretty dull. Goku and Chi-Chi have more awkward, angsty teen chat.
My grandpa said everything will be explained to me when I turn 18.
Boy, are you in for a rude awakening.
We return to Gohan's house, find him awaiting Goku's return. Piccolo and Mai enter, and apparently Piccolo is a Sith Lord because he starts using the Force on Gohan.
Yep, Starkiller's got nothing on Big Green.
With a lot of choppy editing, Goku finds Gohan underneath all the wreckage.
Find Master Roshi in Pazu. 7 Dragon Balls must be found, for all men's fate will be bound.
Well, he's dead.
Guardian killed by the enemy because the protagonist wasn't where he was supposed to be? Add Luke Skywalker to the list of characters we've ripped off.
Minor note, somehow the dinner Gohan made wasn't even scathed by the collapsing house.
Again, more interesting than what the movie actually wants us to focus on.
Goku finds an orange gi in a chest, and again it looks like a cheap Halloween costume. I've seen cosplayers do a better Goku than this.
Whoa, something that remotely resembles the original character. No time for that. We have to see who this new character is.
We barely developed the cast we have now, and they're introducing another character? I just never realized. Where's Krillin during all this?
As far away as humanly possible and thanking Kami he's not involved.
Alright, what about Launch, Puar, Chaozu, and Tien?
Ditto?
The obvious guide to making a successful adaptation. Cut out about half the characters and make sure the ones that you do keep around resemble the originals as little as possible.
After some more crappy karate, this new chick says she's looking for a Prometheum orb, which are the Dragon Balls. She thinks Goku stole hers, and that's why she attacked him.
Last night a thief broke into my father's company, Capsule Corporation.
Wait, Capsule Corporation? No, they're not saying that...
Nope. This is Bulma!
Oh, come on!
Originally much older than Goku, but now seems to be roughly the same age. But never mind that. That tiny streak of blue in her hair totally matches how she had blue hair in the original. It's totally legit.
But one tiny similarity is not enough to say that it's good!
You don't get to complain. You brought this upon yourself. Okay, to be fair, Bulma is one of the few characters that actually get close to the original. She has a Dragon Ball tracker, and she keeps capsules that turn into vehicles. Too bad we can't compliment her acting as much.
Bulma briefs.
She looks like she's about to crack up with that line.
That sounds like a name you give to a Captain Underpants villain. Goku agrees to help Bulma and then grabs the staff that Gohan was using. Wait, isn't that the power pole?
Yep, and it's never seen again. Moving on, they start searching for Master Roshi in the city directory, but have no luck. As you know, he's supposed to be a hermit. And Goku's chowing down on turkey legs.
Are you sure you don't want one?
Okay, that actually is like the original Goku, but again, they're choosing to get the tiniest things right, but screwing everything else up.
Look, Blade, we have beaten that dead horse, gotten the Dragon Balls, revived it, and then beat it to death again. Let's just assume they're not going to get anything else right. That'll make this whole thing hurt a lot less.
But it's so bad!
I warned you.
I'm sorry.
They find Roshi's house in the middle of the city and accidentally wake him up, resulting in a beatdown, and thus we find our second semi-accurate character. Despite him not looking like the original, this version of Master Roshi acts kind of close to his manga counterpart, with his movements seeming to take influence from drunken fist-style martial arts, and he's also a wisecracking pervert who acts over the top and is honestly probably the best part of the movie. After some more bumbling about, Roshi recognizes that Goku is related to Gohan.
Shadow Crane Strike. I recognize that anywhere.
The Shadow Crane Strike? Why couldn't he have just recognized them from the power pole? Why make something up out of thin air, literally, when you could have just used something from the actual source material? Did you read the first, 3 volumes? Where's the turtle? What about Grandpa Gohan's mask? I would love to see a big fish. What the...
So after that bit of BS, Goku explains the situation to Master Roshi.
My grandfather is dead. He told me a poem.
Wow! It finally happened. Dialogue so poorly written and badly delivered that it actually caused me physical pain.
You might want to get that checked out later.
Like, come on. Told you a poem? Say, gave me a warning, told me a prophecy, gave me the chorus to his new rap track. Anything but he told me a poem. This is the fate of the world we're talking about, not some high school English class.
The high school has already been in this movie so much. I'm sure we'll get there before the movie ends.
Moving on, back to something a little more interesting, Piccolo blasts a lake and finds another Dragon Ball.
And then we immediately cut back to the bland.
I will take you to a secret place where a chosen few were taught to master the energy of the three elements: air, fire, and water.
The boulder feels conflicted.
Shadow Crane Strike is the most basic of all the air bending techniques.
I was just kidding with all the Avatar references!
While I'm sure that some of the martial arts in both Dragon Ball and Avatar share some similarities, I think the reason that they were referencing airbending and other elements in this movie is because the live-action Last Airbender movie was slated to release the following year. So they could have been drawing reference to a show that had been released a little more recently?
So you're telling me that trademark giant blue laser beam of death is airbending?
Just move along.
I am beginning to appreciate the entertainment value.
Something no one ever said about this movie.
And my wish it out of existence joke was too easy? They cross all kinds of terrain and end up in what looks like a Power Rangers training camp.
So much for the chosen few.
They run into Chi-Chi and she and Goku catch up.
Nobody at home knows this, but I'm a fighter too. They just wouldn't understand.
Nor do we. You're not developed as a character. At all.
And you're basically irrelevant to the rest of the movie anyway.
They detect a signal for another Dragon Ball and head out to find it.
And then they perform a rendition of this movie's ratings and plummet down a hole.
Whoa! Need any help down there?
And no amount of help will get this movie's rep out of said hole.
Yamcha, at your service.
I'ma do it.
Don't do it.
I'ma do it.
Blade, don't.
I'm doing it.
Blade, we can't steal other people's jokes for this.
I'm doing it! Don't!
I do not know what this Yamcha is, but it sounds disappointing.
Are you proud of yourself?
Very.
So, Yamcha, big surprise, decides to be an ass and refuses to help them out of the hole until they pay him.
So many hours later, they're still stuck in the hole, and Roshi decides to recap the opening of the movie because we were so enthralled the first time.
Piccolo has somehow escaped.
Come to think of it, how did Piccolo escape?
They never explain. He just escapes. Like so.
Return to your seat.
How are you doing that?
Finish the review and I might tell you.
In case it wasn't blatantly obvious enough, their plan is to use the Dragon Balls to seal Piccolo away again, and to prevent the return of Ozaru, who will be released during the upcoming eclipse.
Bulma discovers that the Dragon Ball is nearby, hidden underground.
And apparently Roshi is just an asshole who likes to waste time.
That's kind of like the original, right?
Yamcha helps them start digging.
Everything happens for a reason, bro. Got that one from daytime TV.
Fun fact, that's where the writers of this movie got their inspiration for the characters in this film.
They would have done better consulting Canada.
The tunnel they dig leads them to the top of Mount Doom. He didn't die from that?
Wow, the movie version might be stronger than the original.
Oh look, Urukai.
After some more stunt scenes that make the Power Rangers look like the Matrix, they use the putty rip-offs as stepping stones to reach the Dragon Ball. And upon touching it, Goku sees a vision of the future.
Mai shows up and they have a rather confusing fight scene. Yeah, some great assassin you are.
The team realizes they don't have enough time to hunt down the remaining Dragon Balls, so they head to a temple in Toysan to have another Mafuba constructed.
Elsewhere, we find Chi-Chi in a tournament, and Mai has entered the fight in disguise. She manages to cut Chi-Chi, then forfeits the match, and we see her drop some of her blood into a vial.
It takes a good long while before something relevant happens again.
The final level of air bending technique is the Kamehameha.
Rio, what's your take on that?
Well, I would change it to
Kamehameha.
That somehow made it better.
While Goku practices and fails at the Kamehameha, Roshi and the monks finish preparing the Mafuba. Bulma wakes up to find that Chi-Chi has stolen the Dragon Balls.
The heroes give chase until she pulls out a gun and another Chi-Chi shows up. It turns out that Mai was using Chi-Chi's blood to make a disguise.
Because Goku's a dumbass, he can't tell them apart, despite the large slash mark on Chi-Chi's arm, and Mai blasts him with her gun.
Mai escapes and Roshi tends to Goku. So that revived Goku. Correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't Kamehameha translate to Turtle Destruction Beam or something along those lines?
We're actually in the big green dome now, where you can just scream Kamehameha for anything. Roshi takes the Mafuba and they head to Dragon Temple, where they think Piccolo will summon Shenlong.
They give chase in their flying car, freshly stolen from the Weasley family, until they get shot down by Piccolo.
Goku emerges from the crash, now wearing his orange gi, and somehow his hair got even dumber?
I thought they had to go Super Saiyan for their hairstyles to change on the fly.
I will defeat Ozaru, and I'm here to destroy you.
But Grandpa Gohan forgot to mention one tiny little detail that just so happens to be that Goku is Ozaru.
Anyone who knows anything about Dragon Ball would have seen this coming, so as a plot twist, it's extremely weak and it's not given enough proper build-up. Sure, we see Goku getting flashes of Ozaru and visions of the future and the past, but we're not given any hints that he might be this demon thing.
And even the explanation of how he ended up with Gohan is confusing. He arrived on Earth by a meteor, which is kind of how Goku first got to Earth in the original. But we were told that Ozaru and Piccolo were already on Earth, and Ozaru just vanished after Piccolo was defeated. And Piccolo says his power would awaken after his 18th birthday. If he is Ozaru, then he's already thousands of years old. And Gohan decided to keep all of this from Goku. It makes no freaking sense!
Goku, no!
I don't think Goku's there anymore.
Was he ever there to begin with?
So, Ozaru chokes out Roshi, and after he dies, Goku manages to fight Ozaru off and return to his human form?
Always have faith in who you are.
Unless you're an ape monster. Then you should ignore that half.
Every move you're on.
Wait, go back!
What?
Every roll.
They just reversed the footage of his transformation! They were too lazy to show him actually reverting, so they just played the footage backwards! Even his clothes are back to normal. His gi reties itself and his undershirt is back.
I'm not even surprised anymore, man.
And the fight between Goku and Piccolo finally gets underway, with Goku running away the whole time. And what's with Big Green shooting from the hip? What, is he Darth Carter from Family Guy?
Out the butthole!
Oh, and Yamcha kills off Mai.
He's still a disappointment.
Speaking of disappointment.
I am Goku.
No, you ain't!
So after some BS that even anime logic can't justify about being both Ozaru and Goku at once and suddenly being able to control Ozaru's powers, Goku jumps at Piccolo while firing the Kamehameha and it looks like the day is saved. They gather the Dragon Balls, use their wish to revive Roshi, and they return to the temple where Goku and Chi-Chi share a kiss, despite them not having any actual chemistry.
And this travesty finally ends with them having a sparring match with more awkward slow-mo. And that was one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life.
I'd still rather watch this than the last thing I reviewed, but not by much.
You can see why it sucks. Horrendously misused source material, awful casting, laughable special effects, a confusing title, and acting so terrible it makes the big green dub of DBZ look Oscar-worthy.
It's no wonder live-action anime adaptations have such a bad rep when one based on one of the most popular anime of all time is this catastrophically bad.
They even have the balls to think this movie would do well enough to warrant a sequel, going so far as to have a Marvel-style mid-credits sequence. Thank Kami that didn't happen.
Well, I don't know, Rio. If all of these movies can get a sequel 10 plus years later, then there might be a chance. On top of all that, if you want to make this movie even worse, then watch it with the subtitles turned on.
The spelling of a lot of the romanized Japanese words are incorrect, and the worst culprit is this.
He's training the boy, Son Goku.
In this movie, it doesn't make sense for them to call him Son Goku because of how botched it is as an adaptation, but it's made even worse by misspelling it as San.
Long story short, Goku is based on Sun Wukong from Journey to the West, hence Son Goku.
With that, as well as all of the other Japanese phrases that are misused, this movie not only fails to please fans of the original, but would also alienate those who just want to watch an action movie who know nothing about the manga.
Bottom line, this movie is awful and people are rightfully skeptical anytime a live-action anime adaptation gets announced.
You will find some exceptions to this stigma, but they are few and far between. Our advice? Grant everyone's wish and pretend this movie doesn't exist.
And now, it's time for me to complete my vengeance.
So, what's with the laser powers and the teleportation?
You want an explanation? Wait and hope, Rio. Wait and hope.